Hey everyone from Austin, Texas. It is Brian, and I am a little bit freer now. So I was running for re-election to the local Windsor Real Estate Board. I felt it was very important to have an outsider's voice and a diverse voice on the local real estate board. However, membership does not necessarily see it that way. There were four of us running for two seats. I did come in third, which is what I was expecting to have happen. I knew that I had my own percentage of voters, but I knew that only about one third of realtors would even vote. And that's exactly what the case was. We have 1,640 realtors in Windsor, Essex County. Only about 470 of them voted. And I was trying to get out the vote for everybody else, but that didn't work. And I am now back off of the real estate board as of today. So I'm officially a retired board member, I'll call myself. The benefit of that too for me. And it was no real skin off my nose. If I didn't get reelected, that was going to be good anyway. It didn't matter to me because I have my own business that I need to run with all of the different things that I'm getting launched here in 2024. And I was really only going to give the real estate board another 2 years maximum on the board. I got a lot, not a lot, but I got some good things cleaned up in the 2 years that I served. Was a voice on the board. The membership decided that a diversity member on the board was not that important to them. They also decided that an independent brokerage model was not something that they wanted represented on the board. Windsor is very much a bricks and mortar, the 5% commission kind of thing. And we don't want any outsiders coming in and stealing our golden goose. We will wait until the court decides that we can no longer have this business model. And we are going to continue to keep dictating to people that they must pay a strong commission. And that's part of the voice also. That was what I was up against. I knew that. I knew the brokers of record don't like me. That's why they don't want me on their broker. They don't want me at their brokerage firms, and that's okay. I don't like having to pay them $25,000, $30,000 a year or more. I like the concept of being independent. So it gives me a lot more flexibility with what I can do for people, rather than having a broker of record that dictates to me, Brian, you must do business this way. It's like, no, I'm not that type of person anyway. So it's all good news. It's always a little sad to lose any election. There is another person, of course, there were four of us running. There's another person that lost two. He's having a little bit more of a problem with it. So I just reached out to him here in the hotel room. And I said, a little bit of a word of advice, just let it go. The membership has spoken. The 400 people have voted, and accept it for what it is and just move on. Go back to running your thing. It is what it is. I don't know why you were expecting anything different. We knew how this was going to end up playing out pretty much. So that is all done. I am now back free, so I don't have to make the trips to Toronto and I don't have to make the trips to Korea. There is one thing I do want to get fixed at Korea, and I can do that by just being a realtor and a voice. I don't have to be on the local real estate board to affect some change at Korea. I can just be a member of Korea, which I am by being a realtor, and I have a little bit more of a voice to be able to get some things fixed up there. There's one thing I'm going to be targeting in the years ahead. And as of today, I have, because of the contacts by being on the real estate board, the contacts that I have, I reached out to one of them already to kind of get started. We'll have her call me back here sometime soon and ask some questions about trying to get some things fixed at Korea. Korea, of course, reached out to me right away and they said, hey, if you'd like to be on our some of our committees, the local board, of course, has committees as well, too. And so I may join some of those committees if I felt that I had the time one of my concerns on the re-election side of the equation was I don't know how much time I'm going to have because of the business launches that I'm doing here in 2024, thanks to Adam over at Media Duo. So that's the election results for today. So I'm back free again, and there's kind of some nice things about that. And nobody ever wants to lose an election, but I'm not surprised with how it turned out. So, it just is what it is. The brokers of record in the city of Windsor control the real estate board, and trying to be an outsider into that is always a slug. And when you only have about 400 of the local realtors even caring enough to vote, you're going to have these kinds of results. Unfortunately, the other 1,000 realtors never even bothered to vote. They were probably more my voting block than what the 400 that did vote were. So it is what it is. I will go out and celebrate a little bit more here in Austin. I'm getting ready to go to lunch. They had foo-foo food down here for lunch. And I'm like, foo-foo food's not good for me. Of course, it is Austin. That would be what I would be expecting. And so I'm going to go out and find either a pizza place or find some place where I can grab a box of Pop-Tarts and some Reese's peanut butter cups. That would sound like a pretty good lunch for me. I'm just teasing. But I'm going to go walk around a little bit since it's daylight out here and it's kind of safe. There was a mugging just outside the hotel the other day, so I'm going to go out and just kind of mosey along with some police officers. They're all dressed in tactical gear. It's one of the weirdest things. It's like, much like a third world country, they have defunded the police here. And so it's not a safe place to be. When you go down into the lobby and you see a security guard standing there who's in full tactical gear, and you say, gee, is this really a place that I'm supposed to be? Well, Brian, I'm kind of here to protect you. That's what my job kind of is. And is it that safe if you need a bodyguard? Maybe it's not that safe of a town to be in. And so I don't know that. I think the other Canadians that I'm with also are kind of like, Austin, we're probably not going to go back to Austin. Just because I don't know that any of us feel really safe here. The concepts that the insurance companies, we went like 5 blocks for dinner. And the insurance companies hired buses, big motor coaches, fancy motor coaches, to drive us 4 blocks away because they didn't want the liability of us walking back at night. They wanted to make sure that we were safe. And so they spent the extra money for the motor coaches to be able to keep us safe, which was nice of them. And so that's one of the things about Austin that is not necessarily the most pleasant place. And you're not going to see me wanting to go and jump into my car and go on vacation to Austin because it's just not a place that is pleasant at all. It's one of those American cities that you have to sit here and wonder, looking out at the buildings here, of course it is Thanksgiving, but I still see nobody. There's one building out here that's 12 stories tall too, and I've only ever seen one person in there, and that person was a cleaning lady because she was running the vacuum cleaner. The whole time I've been here, there's been nobody in this building. I don't know how we're going to get through this problem because commercial properties are going to all go bankrupt in these major cities. This is the second major city, San Diego, I was in. And as you know, in the videos that I shot in San Diego, I was wondering, where are all the people? There's no people downtown. It's like there's no rush hour. There's no nothing. It's not like Windsor at all. 3 o'clock on in Windsor, it's like the roads are jam-packed here. And in San Diego, nobody. Not a soul. It's like the concrete jungle has died. It's one of the weirdest things. It's just creepy. These are multi-billion-dollar or multi-hundred-million-dollar buildings, and they're all just vacant. How is there no banking crisis? Or how do they keep telling us that there's no banking crisis when these buildings are all non-performing assets? And of course, we do have that problem in Toronto. We've got that problem in Vancouver. We got that problem in Montreal. We do. We probably got a little bit of that problem in Windsor as well, too, with our vacant buildings. But it's creepy. It just kind of is. It's like there's nobody. How do these restaurants, that's one of the other things. Last night for dinner, there were 4 people in the restaurant. Like, how do you guys even exist? I know that Hamburg was $30 last night, and it wasn't that good. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know how they are going to end up existing. I don't know how they pull through this. That's one of the other scary things from here in Austin. So have a great day. I am now free. I've got clients I got to focus on anyway. There's a couple of difficult things coming up. Just emotionally difficult things coming up for a client. I have plenty of people to go help when I get back home. I've got an estate to start clearing out as well too. And I can just focus on those things, run my business my way, serve my clients, which is what I've always done. And I can do that with a little bit more time because I'm not on the real estate board for any of that anymore. My thought process is my thinking is just not necessarily the place welcome on the board right now. And the brokers of record in the city of Windsor have spoken, and so it is what it is. I'm asking, I'm begging, I'm fighting for the election results to actually be presented. I was just sent an email saying, Brian, you lost, which is what I was kind of expecting from the real estate board. But then I sent him back an email and I said, what were the vote totals? Well, Brian, you lost. Okay, but what were the vote totals? I'm good with that, but what were the vote totals? And all I got was, the number 1 person got 240 votes, the number 2 person got 207 votes, and that's it. I'm like, okay, but what about the number 3 person and the number 4 person? Why can't we know what the vote totals were? And that's one of the other things. I'll have to get with them, as according to the executive director of the real estate board. I'm like, well, go ahead and do whatever you need to do, because I'm going to be asking for all of that transparency from an election to be released. Why wouldn't we release the whole total? I just don't get it. It's like, it was a vote. Don't we have the right to know? And everybody's like, you want rights? It was a vote, and we told you how it went, and you're supposed to just believe us. Again, that's one of those funky things that I was expecting as well too, and that I'm just kind of spending a little bit of time here in Austin saying, wait a second, go ahead and publish the vote. What do you need from either the other person that was running with me? Do you need us to sign off on something that says, yeah, go ahead and present the whole vote? And everybody's like, well, we weren't expecting this pushback. It's like, wait a second. Publish it. It's okay. It's just totals. How close was I? Did I get 200 votes? Did I get 100 votes? Did I get 12 votes? How many votes did I get? You want us to publish that, Brian? I'm like, yes, please. It was a vote. It was a public vote. Don't we as a public get to know how the votes turned out? And I'm even fighting that. That's why election season 2024 in the United States is going to be a little bit interesting again. So it is what it is. And when there's no transparency in voting, that's when you start to get a little bit upset and say, wait a second, no, there needs to be transparency in voting. So one of those other things. I'll go get some lunch. Have a great day. Take care. I'll be back to Windsor here soon, back to work soon. I've got people to help. I'm going to continue to keep expanding my business out. I know where I'm going to in 2024, and everybody's going to have to just catch up with me or stay running along with me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.